Sup everyone, hope you're all enjoying yourselves. Thanks again for the intro, Jesse. So as Jess said, my name's MikamiHero, and today I will be running Ocarina of Time, and the category we'll be running is called GSR, Ganondorf Source Requirement. So you may or may not have seen me run this category in the past. I've done it for a few of our Aussie events, but it got pegged to be run again, so let's do it. Do we have a file name, Jess? Or just whatever?
We didn't have any incentives for a file name.
Alright, I guess I'll just make it fast.
Fantastic.
Fast 2020. It also gives me a chance to explain the file names. Alright, so you want me to count you down?
Yeah, count me down.
Alright, not to worry. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you, Jesse. Alright, so well, the first thing that a lot of people will notice is that I'm playing this game in Japanese, and the reason for that is Japanese has much faster text speed than the English version of the game. So if you had the English version of the game, provided it's like NTSC U, if you're from Powerland like we are, you're kind of boned, but if you have NTSC U, English and Japanese play exactly the same. The only difference is language. Japanese just runs faster. Effectively, you can say more for less in Japanese. So that's why we use the Japanese version. And the reason I mentioned the file name thing is that in Ocarina of Time, because it has to render, every character is rendered in one frame. If your file name is just a single letter, you effectively save 7 frames every time your name appears, just because of that's how the text is rendered. So for like optimal like speed runs, we want to make our file name just a single letter. But for the sake of the marathon, I figure let's just go fast 2020. So when you see like more, I guess, quote unquote normal runs where someone's really going for PB pace, they'll just pick the single letter. So this category, it's interesting because it's kind of more of a restriction category in many ways. So it's called Ganondorf Source Requirement because we have to do everything to be able to fight Ganondorf. So that's where the source requirement comes from, where you have to get the Shadow Medallion, the Spirit Medallion, and that will trigger the Light Arrows cutscene. And then from the Light Arrows cutscene, you get the Light Arrows, and then from that you can fight Ganondorf, and then go from there. And some further restrictions are we can't do any form of item manipulation, and no form of wrong warping. So some of you who have watched Ocarina of Time speedruns before, you may know that you've seen people walk from like the Deku Tree to like Ganon's castle. We can't do any of that in this category. And some of you may have seen like item manipulation of like crazy sorts where they'll do like some jiggery pokery, then all of a sudden they have like, 50 bomb shoes. We can't do any of that in this either. Yeah, I can see chat. What's up, guys? Hope you're all enjoying.
Do the game FAQs set up. Spin around 5 times, stab the ground 16 times, and do a backflip, and you get all the items.
It's pretty much as Jesse said. It's just it's such an obscure setup, and so many crazy discoveries in the last year alone. Like Ocarina of Time has seen like an explosion of activity, and so many categories have changed, and so many new tricks have been found. But thankfully, this category that I'm running here hasn't changed too much. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit more stable in terms of things changing, this category is probably one of the better ones. And I'll be going for some pretty risky strats throughout the run. But if you're a complete beginner at this game, this is actually a really good category to pick up because there's a lot of beginner-friendly strats, and you'll be able to get runs done like pretty much under any scenario. Okay, so you'll also notice that I'm backwalking and side hopping a lot. That's because walking normally is actually considered ridiculously slow, and you'll pretty much see me throughout this run implementing backwalking, rolls, and side hops. A general rule of thumb is that if the direction you have to travel is a straight line, and I believe if it's 4 rolls or more you have to do, or more than 4 rolls, it's better just to turn around and backwalk. So here we just got the Kokiri sword through this maze, and I'm doing something called box movement because I'm just doing side hops and backwalks, no rolls. If the direction you have to go is kind of curved, then it's better to just do rolls and kind of retarget to change your camera angle. More than 3, thanks Jesse. So here, just doing the specific movement here to collect some rupees. It's all planned, I'm not trying to style on anyone, it actually is like one of the better movements we can do. So that first trick there we just did is a bridge clip. Basically on a very specific frame, I jump slash, and then the jump slash puts Link's character model like just slightly above the bridge's collision that he just clips on top. So now we've got 40 rupees and we're gonna buy the shield. And normally in a casual playthrough we would go to the Deku Tree, but we have some other ways of doing stuff. So let me just get through this section and then I'll explain what the heck is going on. Bit too early pause, but that's okay. Just missed it. Okay, so what I was trying to do there was called a water extended super slide. And I'll explain everything in just a sec. Oopsies. Okay. Okay, so we're past him. Okay, so we're out the forest early. Okay, so there was a lot going on there. So when I jump slashed against the pillar and got a lot of momentum backwards, that's what's called a water extended super slide. I'll explain what extended super slides or ESSs are in just a moment, but just know for now that you're just flying backwards is really, really fast. And how I was able to get through the guy guarding the door, which we commonly call Pokey, was I got something called ISG, which is Infinite Sword Glitch. It effectively means that your weapon is active for every possible frame, but ISG also has some weird byproduct effects where, you know, certain character models can't occupy the same space and whatnot. So as a result, I kind of get pushed past the guy guarding the door, and then we just roll past him and leave the forest early. And this skips a lot of the game already because we don't have to do the Deku Tree. So that's already one big sequence break. And the next location we're going to be going to is Kakariko. So nothing too crazy here. So if there are any donations, Jess, feel free to read them.
Thanks, Mikami. We don't have any donations at the moment. I just want to remind people that, first of all, we're at $3,910. We're just on the cusp of 4,000. So get those donations in and let's crack that number. We've got some incentives that are coming up. We've got Simpsons Hit and Run Glitch Exhibition. It's currently it's at 27% funded, needs $361.60 to meet that target, and that'll be really fun. We have a audio language option between Japanese and English for The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel. Currently Japanese is winning by about just over $6. And lastly, there's a bonus run of Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance, maximum any percent, and that's got $250 left. So get your donations in, and it costs nothing extra to add it to an incentive, so just put it in. Back to you.
Thanks, Jess. Alright, so... Oops, took the angle a bit too far. That's okay. Okay, so that's another water extended super slide like the one we did in Kakiri Forest. But the reason we do this one is because right above Kakariko, there's the ever so lovely owl who likes to talk our ear off. And whenever Link is in what's called a busy state, NPCs can't interact with him. And that includes the owl, so... Doing the water extended super slide into the entrance not only is faster, but it also saves us from talking to the owl. So one of the recent changes this category got was one new trick got found in Forest Temple, which hopefully I'll be able to pull off for you guys, and it saves a lot of time in Forest Temple, but consequently that means I need to get a bottle now, whereas previously we never got a bottle in this category. So that's really, really nice. The reason I say that is because even though collecting these kakos can be a little bit annoying at times because their movements can be somewhat erratic, having bottle means that there's a few other shortcuts we can take, not just the new trick, but other stuff as well. And because it uses some of the other skips that we know, it kind of standardizes the route to some of the other categories as well. So it just means that if you were to say learn this category first and then learn another category called like say MST, there's a lot less relearning you'd have to do because there's a lot of overlap with these tricks. So yeah, I'm just collecting these chickens. Like I said, their movements can be somewhat random, but I've done this enough times that I kind of know where to throw them. The way I do Kako still isn't completely like optimal, but yeah, it's not too bad. There is some form of manipulation you can do with these chickens. As soon as you drop one like this, and then let's say I grab old mate here, and then I throw him and peg and slash him, they'll always go away from Link. So in this case, I'm pegging them right towards the pen, and then that way they'll run in that direction, such that when I get this guy and pick up old mate here, they're all in the pen, right near the pen rather. So we got the bottle here, and the reason we get this bottle is because out of all the bottles that are available to us, this is easily the fastest one to get. It has the least number of requirements, and it's not too slow. Okay, so now I need to enter bottom of the well, and I did something there called a Navi dive, where it's again the same principle as the water extended super slide. When Link is in that busy state, aka talking to Navi, like, you know, collision is also really weird, so the water doesn't detect that I'm through, and then I just kind of dip down. And the reason we're coming down here is to get bomb chews, actually. So we're getting this Deku stick. I don't explicitly need it, but for the way I do certain tricks later on, it does make life a tad easier. So getting hit by that Skulltula, guys, was actually intentional as well. Oops. Cool. All right. Ooh, it's cutting a bit close. Cutting it a bit close. Oh, I don't know if this will work, but if it doesn't work, it's fine because I'll wait for the extra cycle. Okay, that worked. Phew. So, like what I did there was I got ISG once again, hence why you saw the flashing sword. Another byproduct of ISG is that if you backflip and then you hit something mid-air, like collision, if you're a certain height above the ground, Link will actually stick in the air. Which is nice because we've actually backflipped right over a gap of water. And to basically fall through the gap, I played the Ocarina, and I did something called an Ocarina dive there. So again, the same kind of principle. Link's in a busy state. Water collision is kind of funky. Okay, so I will do a safety save here, just in case something goes horrendously wrong. So taking that damage against the Skulltula and getting caught by the Floor Master there was all intentional. And so the next location we're gonna go is Hyrule Castle. Excuse me. Because we want to get Zelda's Lullaby, and the reason we need Zelda's Lullaby is so we can get magic, and the reason we need magic is so we can shoot one single light arrow against Ganondorf, because the category is called Ganondorf Source Requirement, so we need to get everything we need to do to fight Ganondorf from Source. So yeah, it's basically make category for any coders out there. Okay, so what I'm doing here is there's actually a bridge behind me that kind of rolls itself. Oh dear gosh, it's close. There's actually a bridge right there, but because the last time I looked at it, it was still down. The game hasn't caught up that it's already flicked up. So when I side up onto the chain, it then recognizes, oh wait, hang on, I need to update the state, and then it flicks itself all the way up. And that allows me to get in, just because my time of day was a little bit tight. So getting that 1 rupee there. Okay, so now we're gonna go get Zelda's Lullaby. Ah, I screwed that trick up. What I was trying to do was actually skip that owl. There's actually a really, really fast way to skip this owl, but I think I was slightly out of position. So when I side hopped, and basically when you side up and you pull stick and you grab the vines, it doesn't give the owl enough time to initiate like having a chat to you. But I screwed it up, but it's okay. It's not the end of the run. It would have just been a nice, like, I'd say 8-second time save. So there's actually this seam that we can climb here, and it doesn't involve Doesn't involve any glitches whatsoever. It just involves getting a very precise angle and kind of easing your way up, and then you jump slash on, and then you walk up the seam. That involved no glitches. That was seriously just setting up a specific angle and kind of skedaddling your way up. Alright, so normally you need to wake Talon up to get him to move so you can move those boxes into position, but we're going to be doing a damage boost. I'll do it the safer way, because it has been a while since I've done this trick. Next frame. Okay, so what I was doing there, where I was pausing and unpausing, it's what's called pause buffering. Effectively, what that is I'm trying to advance the game frame by frame, and that can make doing some certain tricks a lot easier, especially if you've only got like 1 or 2 frames to execute the trick. Giving yourself that extra bit of margin to be like, okay, I've got the exact frame I need, let's go. Obviously, if you're ballsy enough, you can do everything unbuffered, but for the sake of a marathon, I'll try play things like, I'll try balance it out between going like ham and going like safe. I do have a bit of a safe play style, I will admit. For those of you who've joined my stream, or who know me from my streams will know, I do tend to play things quite safe. But I think as a result of that over the years, it's helped me develop a more consistent play style, in the sense that I can pick up harder tricks as time goes on and still have a really solid foundation. But I guess a negative side effect of that is I don't get as fast times as say some other runners, because I don't go for all the harder strats. But you know what? It's give and take. Every run is different. Okay, so now we've just politely shoved a stick in Zelda's face, and she's marveling us at how big the stick is. Here it's just going to be text, so if there's any more donations, Jesse, fire away.
Thanks, Ray. I was just wondering what you're drinking there. What do you got?
I just got some instant coffee.
Coffee, wow. But yeah, I agree. I think the going for consistency really helps, because you don't get to practice the later parts of the run if you reset. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
And so, yeah, you're just playing more, right? You're playing more, doing more, getting better at the game. And with that, I'm going to give a quick plug to who we are. We're Speedruns. We're a group who does speedrun events to raise money for charity. For this event, we're raising money for the Royal Flying Doctor Service, who provide emergency medical and primary healthcare services to anyone who lives, works, or travels in rural and remote Australia. If you'd like to donate, you can go to donate.ozspeedruns.com. I'll put a link in the chat. We have a number of incentives that you can put your donations towards at no extra cost to you. Oh, that's not how you spell incentives. There we go. And yeah, I just thought I'd mention a few things that the Royal Flying Doctor Service does. They offer telehealth services, mobile eye care, mobile patient care. They have a well-being service for mental health. They have community transport services, Flying Doctor Dental. We have the Rural Women's Services. They do mobile event care, speech therapy, and they also offer scholarships. So it's all around quite a few things that the RFDS does, and we love them. So how about everyone show their love for them as well, and click the link. Back to you, Ray.
Awesome, thanks, Jess.
MikamiHero.
All good, all good. Yeah, so thanks for the plug again, Jess. Like I said, Oz Speedruns I've been involved with Oz Speedruns for a couple of years now, and the events are great, the people are great, dead set. Like when we all meet up again in person, hopefully next year, if anyone comes out to an event, please, at least for me personally, don't be afraid to say hello. I'll definitely be there, even if I'm not doing a run, just want to go and hang out with people. The Oz Speedrun community is a really tight-knit one, I'd say. Out of all the ones I've like kind of mingled with, like Oz Speedruns, everything's pretty dope here.
I think chat is saying that we sound like a robot.
Oh no.
Can you confirm that, chat? Do we sound like robots? I don't know.
No, I think you're fine on my end, Jesse.
Well, there you go. Maybe. I don't know. Well,
No.
not anymore.
Okay.
We're all good now. All right, fantastic. Only when I was plugging stuff. Okay. So, all right. There you go. Well, back from our robot cameo. Yeah.
All good.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a big hug, MikamiHero.
Yeah.
When we're back in and the illness is not around.
Yeah, you too, Jess, man. I miss everyone. Alright, so what happened there was, normally when you get Zelda's letter, you try to exit the castle and Impa teaches you Zelda's lullaby. But what we did was, we basically entered the cutscene as soon and also died. That's why I dropped the bomb, backflipped and dropped the bomb chew. So the damage pushes me into the cutscene, but I also die on at the same time. So as a result, I get the song, but I don't have to watch the cutscene. So Aggie likes to say it's basically Link skipping music classes. So we do I think one more music lesson skip. Okay, so here's like one of the bigger sequence breaks. Okay, cool. So that there was just called the Door of Time skip, or what we call as dot skip. The reason that works is that the programmers actually left a tiny gap between the wall and the Door of Time that's blocking us from the Master Sword. And it eluded speedrunners and glitch hunters for years. Like, this was before when I started. Like, I think they knew that there was a gap there, but they just didn't know how to get past it. And I think it was just a lot of trial and error, and then eventually someone found a way to side hop past it. So that was the first step. But then they were like, okay, well, side hopping past it is all fine and dandy, but there's no point side hopping past it only because you basically void. So with a few clever minds in the community, they found a setup that gets you the angle you need to clip through, and then on like very specific frames you jump slash back inbounds and then just side hop past the door. So this was definitely one of the biggest sequence breaks I got found, like, I guess in the history of OOT speedrunning. Only because, like I said, it saves you from having to do any of the child dungeons. So we can basically just go straight to adult. Yeah, Ken, the mandated dot skip fail period has yet to refresh. Yeah, guys in chat as well, if you have any questions, just feel free to ask. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. Yeah, this is going to be another long cutscene. Ironically, some trivia with this category. So this category, Ganondorf source requirement, it actually has more cutscenes per minute of gameplay than the glitchless category. So the glitchless category is just as like on average 4 hours long. And you have to watch every cutscene in glitchless because you can't skip anything. But for every minute of gameplay, you actually watch more cutscenes in this category than you do in glitchless. And this category is like on average an hour and a half long. So yeah, a lot of time spent idle in this category. Can I have your autograph? Sure, Bahunga. Does my AC work? Actually, Junk Dump, funny you mentioned that. Our AC remote broke like months ago, so I downloaded a phone app that is like a universal aircon remote, and that works. But the problem is, I'm the only one that has an Android-based phone in this place. So when I'm not home, like Mrs. Mika can't turn on the aircon. So I did some Googling and I found this place that sold like my brand of air conditioner remotes, but it wasn't the exact model number. It was like, you know, EHL067 and then dash and then some other shit. And I'm like, okay, it's not the exact match. It's $40, so I'll buy one and see what the hell happens. And it arrived and I'm like, all right, moment of truth. I chucked the batteries in. I just didn't do any like syncing with the aircon. I'm like, put on, and it just turned on. And I'm like, oh, holy shit. We have a proper remote now. Yeah, like,
I'm gonna say that your mum calls you at work and says, "Hey, turn the aircon on."
Yeah.
Phone.
Yeah.
All right, mum. Beep, beep, beep.
Beep, beep, beep. Oh man, the reason we didn't bother about it, chat, is because it was winter, and you know our apartment's pretty warm, so we never really needed the aircon, even though it's also got heating. But now it's coming onto summer. I'm like, all right, I need to fix this. Yeah, no, I wasn't gonna end badly, Fall Guy. I was a bit worried, but yeah, now the whole place isn't reliant on having my phone at home. Like, it's just me and Mrs. Mika in this apartment, but she has an iPhone, and I don't believe the app I have is available on iOS, so there you go. If I was on iOS as well, I'd be screwed. I've also got a fan in here as well, fam, and just for reference, it's 30 degrees C in this study/stream room of mine, and I'm like dying here. It's so fucking hot. I mean, excuse me, excuse my language. Apologies, I don't know if we're like PG, but
Swear
jar. All right, how much do I
owe? I would say 5, but because I'm gonna scam you out of some money, 10.
10? All right, at the end of the run, I'll do 10. I think the swear jar thing is good because, oh jeez, I am notorious on my own stream for just dropping F-bombs, but whenever we're doing like an event, I'm always trying to be a little bit more mindful, but I'd like to call it a slip, but I just like to call it being Aussie.
That's why I just use ridiculous things instead of swears like silly butts, sleepy head.
Yeah, it's a good way to get around it. Alright, so the next location we're gonna skedaddle to is Shadow Temple, actually, but we're gonna make a pit stop by Dampé's grave to get hookshot. So this part's actually pretty self-explanatory. We just race Dampé in his grave and get the hookshot, and then after the hookshot there'll be some crazy stuff. So if there's any donations, Jess, go for it. Swear Shah.
None at the moment, I'm afraid.
All good, all good.
Yeah, so links in the chat.
Yep.
Get on it.
You cannot ban moderator. How much money per bonk? Oh gosh. Against Dampé, Drav? Alright. For every bonk I do against Dampé, I will donate another 10.
Whew.
A dead set.
He's yeah, he's putting his money where his mouth is.
Yeah, I'm either really confident or I'm just gonna get like actually owned.
Just gonna, yeah, break the bank. Right, put your bets in, everyone. What's his time gonna be? 47 or like, you know, 123? What's the deal?
Yeah, so Dampé can be a really big troll here because where he pegs those flames are like completely random. So you could be doing, oh my goodness, like that. You could be doing really, really well, and then he just clips you with a flame. You know what? Every flame clip, I'll donate a 10 as well. So there, Dampé just hit me with one flame.
And the worst is the doors.
Oh yeah, those doors are weird.
Yeah. So if the chat doesn't know, if you're on the wrong side of the door when it shuts, you void out. So what can happen is you get on the right side of the door, you hit a flame, the flame pushes you back onto the other side of the door, and then bam, you're out of bounds. Get wrecked.
I've done that. Guilty as charged. He just knocks me back and bang, I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, guy got the correct guess, 49. Alright, so I owe 20 at the end of the run because I got hit by the flame and the swear jar. Okay, so now we got hookshot. And normally we'd exit through that door and then go through Kakariko again. But what we do instead is we side hop and then we side hop back, and then it closes on us because it thinks we're still over there, but then we void and we end up back on the graveyard side. Okay, so here's a trick coming up that in terms of this category is one of the newer tricks. It's basically like a stored hookshot jump. I still don't, after all these years, oops, I still don't know the specifics of this trick. But there we go. So we launch ourselves up like really high up, and then I get ISG against that Poe there. So as I walk along this seam, I'm not gonna fall out. The reason I still don't understand how this trick works is because I've asked like 3 people over the years how this trick works, and all of them have given me like varying different answers of like complexity. So my brain just kind of goes, there's no consistency in these explanations, so I'm just not gonna bother. Alright, so now we're in Shadow Temple. There's normally a door blocking us in to get to Shadow Temple, but because of the way we loaded this area, the door doesn't actually get loaded, so we just waltz in and hit the loading zone. Alright, so this part here can be a little bit annoying because there's these doors basically stop us for I have no idea what reason. Alright, now time to fight Dead Hand. Dead Hand still spooks me to this day after all these years. That spawn's actually pretty decent. Sometimes he can spawn like right in the center of his hands, and where he spawns is entirely random, I'm pretty sure. At least I haven't figured out a way to manipulate his spawn, if there is even one. So now he's gone skis, and we're gonna get hover boots. So we'll get hover boots. I'll do a safety save because there's a trick coming up that skips like 90% of Shadow Temple. But it does require some usages of bomb chews, and my bomb chew count is actually quite precious in this category, so I want to be pretty mindful of that. Okay, so boat skip. Alright, so that looks good. Looks so far so good. So we're doing something called a ground clip here. We're out of bounds. And we are actually in the room right before Bongo Bongo, actually. The reason, yeah, the textures haven't loaded, but everything is still there, like the floors and stuff. And there's a door to my left. There we go. And we are through. Now we're gonna go fight Bongo. So yeah, that's boat skip. We skip like 90% of Shadow Temple, but there's actually still a door blocking us from that room to Bongo Bongo. But we did something called a ledge clip, where we basically grab, on the first frame, we grab a ledge, and as long as there's like a wall to one side of us, when we press target, we actually clip into the ledge, and then we use the bomb chew to push us through the door. And yeah, there used to be so many different, there used to be a much harder way to do boat skip, but that way got found, I'd say, I think 2 years ago now, and it's been a game changer because it's, for starters, a lot easier. For starters, way easier, and it uses less bomb chews as well. So the reason I keep stressing about my bomb chew count is because it is a non-refillable explosive, in the sense that I can't just pick it up from like drops in the grass. You can buy bomb chews, but I believe you have to clear the bomb chew bowling game as Child Link, and also beat Dodongo's Cavern in order to buy bomb chews from the Goron shop. So that's way too out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
All right. So we get this heart, and we enter the cutscene. So this will be a bit of text mashing. So if you have any announcements or donations, Jess, go for it.
Yeah. So we have a $33.37 donation from Aggie that says, "Streamer, how do I perform XODQSSJ, and can I do it IRL? Dono goes to runner's choice."
Thanks, Aggie. There's a trick coming up that Aggie has coined it that, and I'll explain it as we get to it. Can we do it in real life? I wish. It made getting to places so much easier. Runner's choice. Oh, geez.
So we've got Shah, Glitch Exhibition, Castlevania Harmony of Distance, Maxim Run, or a bid war for the audio language of Legend of Heroes.
Oh, I'm going to put my money towards the Glitch XO for Shah.
I agree. I think that's good. That's the one that's most nearby to us, as in that's the one that needs to get filled first.
How close are we to it?
So we got 360 to go. So Aggie's going to take 30 off that.
Yeah.
So we'll have 330 to go. And then we got another donation. That was $11.55 from Dravion, who said,
"Hey, Drav.
I said in chat that I'll match the Dampe bonks, so I owe $10, and here it is. Thanks, Mika, for not making me broke."
No welcome, Drav. Cheers, Drav. But cheers, guys, as well for the donations, really. Okay, so we finished having a chat with Old Mate Impa. So another change to this category, and one that I constantly forgot when I started running this route, was we actually need a fairy from this Gossip Stone in order to do this next trick into Dodongo's Cavern that Aggie mentioned in his donation message. The reason I keep forgetting it is because in the older way of doing this category, we never used to have a bottle, thus we never needed to get the fairy, and thus we had to do Dodongo's Cavern pretty much like in a glitchless format in many ways. But now that we've got the fairy, we've got much better ways of doing things. You can actually risk getting a fairy from the grass patch if your health is really low, but I've been trolled by that grass patch way too many times right outside Graveyard that I just play Zelda's Lullaby on the Gossip Stone to get a fairy. It only wastes like 8 seconds over optimal grass patch RNG. Alright, so like I said, the next stop is Dodongo's Cavern. And the reason we're going to Dodongo's Cavern is to get bombs, because at least for the rest of this run, I won't have the luxury of being able to complete the run with just 6 bomb chews. So we are making our way over to Dodongo's Cavern to get some bombs, because we have a bomb bag in there, and bombs do have they're refillable explosives. Oh dear, that's not good. I'm not going to risk it. So I just wasted a bomb shoot there because I was trying to drop it. And then slash it at the same time. But sometimes my inputs get a little bit weird that I didn't want to risk wasting another one. So I will chuck a safety save here, just in case I done goof completely. So I'm down 1 bomb chew, which isn't the end of the world, but it is kind of annoying because there's one trick later on in the run where the more bomb chews I have, the better. I'll explain it when we get to it, but for now, this will be fine. We're Gucci. Oh, 4K! Thanks, fam! So this is the trick that Aggie mentioned in chat, XODQSSJ, also more commonly known as hookshot jump. So what I did there was I damaged down to a specific amount of health, and then did a setup to get into position, and then timed the hookshot press such that as soon as I hit the ladder, I also die. And the bridge doesn't actually have any collision from underneath, which is why I went straight through it. But the bridge has collision on top. So that's why I got the fairy, because there's no point flying up for me to just die. I needed the fairy to revive myself, and that's a much faster way of getting bomb bag. Like I said, the older way of doing it was going all the way around to get the bomb bag. And as Adult Link, it's actually a fair bit faster, but it still took time. Or Doom Jump, yeah, depending on like who you ask. Okay, so now that we've got bombs, our next pit stop is actually going to be magic. So we will go chuck old mate Great Fairy a visit and go from there. Cool. So that angle can troll me sometimes, but all good in the end. Okay, so this part here, nothing too exciting. So any more donations since we last chatted, Jess?
Yeah, we got some.
Oh, sweet.
And we went over the $4,000 mark.
Woo!
How exciting. Great work, everyone.
Yeah.
Great team effort.
Yeah.
We got $45 from Lazy Pirate, who says, looking good so far, Mikami. Good luck with the rest of the run. Put this towards hit and run. And so that takes hit and run up to 43% funded, with $283 left. That's a glitch exhibition, I should say, for Simpsons Hit and Run. We will, of course, have the Simpsons Hit and Run at 7:25. And a second donation was from Drav, who says, just thought I'd give Mika some good luck with a little meme that he should know. Remember, Mika, don't forget to keep rolling, 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 rolling.
My God. Thanks, Trav. Oh my goodness. That's an old Limp Bizkit meme.
Oh yeah, keep rolling. Yeah, I know that. Yeah. All right, that was $6.09. Thank you, Trav.
Thanks, Trav. Yes, because I think we're just talking about music, and I said, "Oh yeah, I remember this. I remember Limp Bizkit," and he just started singing. He just started typing it in chat, and then that was it. Just got stuck in my head for the rest of the stream. Oh man.
Like those edits. It's Limp Bizkit, except they just keep saying "keep rolling."
Just keeps going. Yeah, Liquid. I can't play songs to save my life. The hardest thing in this game, I swear, is songs. ZFG second try, exactly. Yeah, pretty much, Wilbo. It's catching up now. Okay, so now that we've got magic, we will do one last bit of we'll do one last, I guess, setup requirement, and that's to get the Minuet of Forest. So all this movement here where I'm taking damage, like from the Skulltula and the rock, it's all intentional. Oopsies. Okay, I'll have to be, I didn't take the half a heart of damage I wanted to there, but that's okay. I can manage. And yeah. Okay, so I think I side hopped a little bit too early there, but that's okay. So I'll take damage here. It's good. There we go. Okay, so we wanted at least we wanted at most half a heart there. All right, cool. So we're on the damn amount of health that we want. So old mate Mido is blocking us here unless we play Saria song. But we have ways around him. There's a faster way that I was trying to do there, but there's a backup that we can just skip past him like that. Yeah, otherwise, like I said, the normal way is to play Saria song, and then he's like, oh, you know Saria? Okay, I'll let you through. So, Sacred Forest Meadow.
I love how, like, you're talking to this Mito guy, right? And
Yeah.
You're wearing exactly the same clothes as he is, okay? And he's like, who are you? You're an outsider. Never seen you before. You could be like, I'm Link. And he'd be like, yeah, sure. And you could be like, here is the Kakiri sword. And here is the Deku shield. I still have them. Right? But instead you go through this whole rigmarole of learning Saria's song. And he's like, yeah, that's the thing.
Oops.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Who you are.
It's like, oh, this one song that she could have taught like anyone.
I mean, you teach it to Skull Kids, right?
Oh, yeah,
you
true.
It to literally the mischievous skeleton people, and it's like, yeah, well, if you know it, you must be a cool guy.
Okay, so we skipped another music lesson as Wilbur referred to this now. So we entered the Minuet of Forest cutscene, and we died at the same time. Thus, we didn't have to watch the Minuet Forest cutscene. So the reason we don't do Forest Temple now is because now that we have the Warp Song, we can go back to Forest Temple at any time. So we're just gonna go ahead and do Spirit Temple now. And the only reason we do Shadow Temple and Spirit Temple is because this game kind of does a lazy check. It's the game, if you've played through it casually as a kid, was you had to go through all the child dungeons, then do all the adult temples, Forest Temple, you know, Fire Temple, Water Temple, Spirit Temple, Shadow Temple, and then that triggers the Light Arrows cutscene, and then you get Light Arrows, and then continue on. But the only checks that the game does for the Light Arrows cutscene is it checks for Shadow Medallion and Spirit Medallion, because the game thinks that if you've gotten those two, you in theory would have all the other ones. So all we have to do is just get the last two, and then the game triggers the Light Arrows cutscene. So we don't have to do every single dungeon, which I thought was pretty interesting. So I did a hyper extended super slide there, just to be able to cross Hyrule Field a little bit quicker. And how those extended super slide tricks work and whatnot is we're basically taking recoil damage off something like rocks, bombs, like, you know, explosions from, like, you know, bomb shoes or something. And then we're holding a very slight position on our controller off center, which we call in the community ESS position, or extended super slide position. And that kind of maintains the knockback speed that you get from taking the damage. And we're able to do things like, you know, water extended super slides, hyper extended super slides, etc. Okay, so I just got ISG there off the sign. And the reason we're going to do that is because we're going to clip through this gate doing something called gate skip. I don't have to do it like this, but doing it this way versus the older way of doing it saves, like, I think 10 seconds. It is a bit more risky though because of my bomb count, but we should be fine. All right, one more frame. There we go. All right, clipped us through. And now we are on to Wasteland. All right, let's see if we can pull off first half Wasteland Hess. Oopsies. With my explosive count, I ain't gonna risk it. So I would normally try to Hess through the first half of the Wasteland as well. And that saves 20 seconds compared to just kind of walking through like a casual I am now. But I done goofed a little bit, and like I said, your explosive count in this is a little bit scary. I think I have a good angle here. I haven't... No, I've done this way. I've done the casual walk of shame. I have to do it in another category that I'm be running tomorrow actually for fast, called Reverse Dungeon Order. So I'm kind of familiar with the casual way of moving through that section. So the Wasteland, for those of you who don't know, you normally need the Lens of Truth, and then there'll be like a Poe that's like, oh, let me guide you through. But since the void areas are pretty much always set the same, well, not pretty much, they are always set the same. As long as you know where they are, you can just go through without the lens. And if you could do full Wasteland Hess, like Hess all the way through, that's like 40 seconds saved over what I do here. So it's pretty nutty to say the least. All right, so coming up is a section called Spirit Hover, and this is where the bomb shoes that I saved are gonna come in real handy. But we'll have to see if I can pull it off. I would normally do a super slide here to get to the entrance a bit quicker, but because my bomb count is a little bit whack, I'm just gonna be a bit more careful. So if I go a bit quiet here, please excuse me, I'm just trying to focus because this section can be pretty trolly if I'm not careful. Okay, so we get a hover off the way, so that's a good start. This actually doesn't look good at all. And I'll explain why. This angle looks really whack. This might not work. Yeah, I didn't think that was gonna work. Okay, that's fine. So that basically was a 2 to 2.5 minute time save I was trying to get there, but I screwed it up, but that's okay. We can go through Spirit Temple normally, and I actually practiced this earlier. I was like, what happens if I screw this up? And I'm like, you know what, better practice just to make sure. So now we have to go through Spirit Temple normally. So if I'd pulled off Spirit Hover there, that would have been like a pretty nice 2 to 2.5 minute time save. But you know, these things happen in marathon runs, so you know, if anyone's gonna do a marathon run at some point, always practice your backup strats, because you never know what's gonna happen. So yeah, there's some other tricks that I can show off here actually, like for example skipping past this door. So we kind of clipped into the block there, and then we're just kind of going through now. All right, so there's nothing too exciting from this point for a while, so if there's any donations, Jess, go for it.
Thanks, Mikami. Unfortunately, we don't have any donations at the moment, so I'll do another quick plug. Excuse me. So we are Oz Speedruns. We're a group who does speedrun events to raise money for charity. For this event, we're raising money for the Royal Flying Doctor Service, who provide emergency medical and primary healthcare services to anyone who lives, works, or travels in rural and remote Australia. If you'd like to donate, you can go to donate.ozspeedruns.com, put a link in the chat, and there are some incentives that you can put your money towards at no extra cost to you. And those incentives that are coming up is a glitch exhibition for Simpsons Hit and Run, and that's at 43% funded. It has $283.23 to go. We have a bid war for the audio language of Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel. Currently, Japanese is winning by about $6. And then we have a bonus run of Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance, maximum any percent, and that's got $250 left. So get those donations in if you'd like to see those. And back to you, MikamiHero.
Thanks, Jess. All right, so yeah, I think Worcester's approach is also actually pretty good as well. Just winging it on the fly for backups.
It certainly does make for a more entertaining stream if the runner is scrambling around trying to work out what to do.
It really does, yeah.
Not sure it increases their chances of coming back to another event, though. Please practice the backup strats.
Yes. Whenever I give estimates for marathon runs, I always think to myself, okay, what, like, with how I currently play, what's the worst possible scenario? And then that's what my estimates generally is. So, touch wood, in all the marathons I've submitted for so far, I don't think I've gone over estimate. No, I went over estimate for one, but that was like that was just a mess and a half. Other than that though, yeah. All right, so we got that key there because we will need that key for later. So I'm just making my way through this section because we are gonna go get the mirror shield now. So, oh, I have to fight this guy from this way this time. I'm normally used to fighting them coming from the other side because of Spirit Hover, but that's okay. We got ways to do it. So this movement here is just killing off these Anubis. They're basically, you just kind of walk. The other casual way of doing it is you just run around in circles with hover boots on. Oh my goodness, almost fell. Yeah. So I clip him so he moves this way. I'm pretty sure that's the way to do this bit because I actually can't remember how you meant to do it. Like, I can't remember what I did as a kid, like to get through that section. I imagine I hookshotted him and he kind of waltzed past, but Iron Knuckle time. So Iron Knuckles in this game, FYI, are like stupidly scary in the sense that they hit you for 4 hearts. So if I get clipped by any of them one time, I die. And that is most definitely not something I want happening in this run. All right, so two and a half minutes later, we get Mirror Shield. Or probably a little bit longer than that, we get Mirror Shield. But at least we got there in the end. So now we're kind of at where I would have liked to have been before. So now I'm going to make my way back to the main foyer room, and we are going to be doing a few more interesting skips at that point. So fingers crossed I can pull those off. But first off, my bomb count is a little bit low, so I'll farm these guys just to see if I can get a nice juicy drop. That's 2, that's good. 2 is always good. Ooh, that's nice. Nice. All right, 3 drops. Excellent. So now I'm at like max capacity, which is very ideal for the next few sections coming up. I think I can get away with 15 or 16, but you never know with these things. So do a safety save. Normally I can get ISG off this Triforce symbol, but because I already used it to get the key, it kind of loses its... I guess it loses its power. So doing something here called Statue Climb. Climbing the shoulder of this crumbly statue here. Cool. Awesome. Okay, so we're on the shoulder here. Gonna do something called head skip now. Hopefully it works. One more frame, I think. One more frame. Cool. Yeah, that's fine. Awesome. Okay, so we got past the door there without needing to get the Spirit Temple boss key. And that way of skipping past the door is actually relatively new as well. We used to have to do something called a low height ground clip, and that involved explosives. So we save ourselves on explosives, and that way is actually faster too. Excuse me guys, it's really hot today, so I'm gonna do a hydration check. Make sure you all have your water with you. Jesse, you got your water?
Yes.
Yes. Alright, so Naburu Knuckle is coming up. There is actually a skip you can do to get past her. One sec. So there's actually a skip you can do that allows you to skip this cutscene and also defeat Naburu Knuckle, so saves about 15 seconds, I think, if done optimally. The reason I never do it in marathon runs, unless I'm in a race and falling really far behind, is because it's a 15-second time save, but if you screw it up, if you do Spirit Hover, like if I pulled off Spirit Hover, and I screwed that up, it would have lost me like 6 minutes, and that's most definitely something I don't want to do for the marathon. Because I didn't do Spirit Hover, if I had screwed that up, it would have probably cost me 3 minutes, I say, if I'd screwed that up. But you know, I didn't want to risk it either way. I never risk it for a marathon. 15 seconds, it's something I'm willing to forego for the sake of not being a potential bottleneck in the event. Alright, so now that Naburu Knuckle is done skis, time to fight Twin Rover. And my stream fam will know from my experience, Naburu Knuckle can be fucking annoying, to say the least. Just, yeah, so yeah. Any other donations coming in, Jess? Did I? Oh, sorry. Sorry. Sorry.
I didn't even hear it.
Did I? What did I? I'm saying. What did I say?
What did you say?
Did I say something? I see. That's how. That's how inoculated I've become. I didn't even know what I said.
Yeah, I didn't know what he said either. Anyway, well, can we trust Stylenide? Is Stylenide trustworthy? No, it's got that little sword, so... I mean,
I trust Dan, but in this instance, I don't know if he's, like, memeing me.
That's the game here. We don't have any donations at the moment, sorry.
Oh, no worries.
So, yeah, get your donations in if you'd like to hear them read. We've got Softman saying, swear jar, lol.
I swear, what did I say? I need to go back to the VOD and see what the heck I said. What did I... Ah! Sorry, my bad. Okay, so I owe $30 at the end. Okay. See, that's how inoculated I've become. I'm so sorry. Might be.
Yeah.
I really need to join like a PG team or something. See, this is okay. Here's the ironic thing, chat. I have 5 nieces and like a nephew, and I swear around them I am like absolutely like tight-lipped.
I thought you were saying that you swear around them.
Oh no.
Uncle Ray.
Around my nieces, I never swear. Actually, I actually stubbed my toe today. I went to see them earlier before the marathon run, and I stubbed my toe against the side of the sofa, and I was like, and I dropped the F-bomb, and like my middle niece looks at me, and I'm like, sweetie, I didn't say that. Uncle Ray did not say that. She just looked at me. I'm like, she's too young down there. She's like 2. She won't remember that moment. But she just looked at me like, what did you just say? I'm like, I swear I didn't say anything. But yeah. TLDR, if you have younger nieces, nephews, or kids, yeah. This is Australian, right? Imagine swearing in a marathon run. I'm trying to be mindful. They could be kids. They could be younger people watching. You trained a 2-year-old to doubt her senses? Feels bad, man. I didn't train her. I didn't train her. She just kind of gave me that look. And I'm like, I don't know if she's looking at me because I swore, or she's just looking at me because I guess that's what kids do.
Yeah, the absolute fear and dread in your voice as you realize you've sworn, and the look on your face will be cemented into her brain as a key moment, and therefore she will remember the swear forever. You've done it now.
Oh no. See, okay, this may be hard to believe, chat, but I'm actually the favorite uncle from all my nieces and my nephew. I am their favorite uncle because I'm the one that like plays with them, and you know, they'll put like, you know, funny hats and stuff on my head, and I'll just go along with it. So I'm the favorite uncle amongst all of them. So I'm telling you, it's like so hard to like play favorite uncle for like 6 of them. When there was like 2 or 3, it was manageable, but now there's like 6 of them, and I'm like, oh jeez.
I'm also the favorite uncle. I also happen to be the only uncle, but you know, I'm still the favorite.
You're still the favorite, exactly. They'll repeat their word to their parents. Yep, they'll know it's me then. Alright, so we finally got past the craziness that was Twin Rover. So now we've got the Spirit Medallion and the Shadow Medallion. The only thing left to do is not actually go through all of Forest Temple. We're just going to Forest Temple to get the bow, because having the bow will allow us to shoot one pesky light arrow against Dorf. And yeah, for all of you watching us from Australia land, and it's very hot where we are in Sydney. Is it hot where you are, Jess, in Melbourne?
We've had a few warm days, yeah. We've had a few warm days. I mean, Melburnians have a warped sense of what hot means compared to Sydney folks. So I tell you what, you know, going to Brisbane, I don't know how people live there in summer. Like it's like you just die.
Oh yeah, it's insane.
The heat is everywhere. It's like it's in the air, it's on your skin. You can't sleep. Yeah, nuts. So thankfully, the quote unquote heat that we have in Melbourne is nothing compared to Brisbane or Sydney.
Yeah, today it's like I live out in West Sydney, and it's like it hit like 40 today.
When I was a kid, back before they had all these sun smart programs, you know, with these clever shading areas and you know, nice surfaces that don't retain heat. I was about 6 years old, and in my hometown, it hit 50 degrees.
Oh my goodness!
It actually hit 50 degrees, and all the shelter from the sun were metal roof shades.
Oh jeez.
So it was like Yeah, get inoculated. That's your
Yeah.
welcome to Australian summer.
Yeah, Australian summers. Holy moly. I hate it when we hit. He can contain dairy.
They contain dairy.
Alright, gotta fight these two Stalfos now, and do actually need to take some damage, so... That was intentional, I promise. But I gotta be really careful not to get clipped. Okay, those Stalfos surprisingly went okay. Okay, so this is where the new trick comes up in Forest Temple, and the whole reason why we actually get a bottle now in... Whoopsies. Then the whole reason we get a bottle now in what's it called, in this category. So this trick's actually relatively new. I would say about 2-3 months at most. So let's see if I can pull it off for you guys. I think I did a safety save, but I'll just do another one just to make sure, because I do want to show this off. This looks okay so far. Okay. One more frame. Please. Please. Thank you. Okay, so the same principle as in the Dongo's Cavern. We hit that chest on the same frame we die from the bombs, and then we get clipped up to the second floor. We're still not done yet, though. I need a void out. Cool. And by voiding out, we trigger the fight on that second floor, thereby skipping a really big chunk of Forest Temple. And here we are. We're basically three Stalfos away from the bow. And like I said, the whole reason why we got bottle in the first place was just so we could do this one trick. So for all the extra time it takes to get the bottle, I think it saves about 30 seconds still in this category, even with all the different changes. And that was actually a really decent Stalfos fight for me. I really wish this was like a PB paced run, because those Stalfos were actually like, they were really nice to me. Okay, so now we got the fairy bow, and now we can skedaddle on out of here. Like I said, before this, we would have had to have taken pretty much the normal, well, semi-normal way through Forest Temple to get the bow, but this saves us a lot of time, and actually saves us on explosives as well, which is really, really nice. So playing Minuet here just to get out of Forest Temple, and then now we're going to be saving and resetting. And the reason we do that is because as Adult Link, if you save and reset and you're inside a dungeon, as Child Link as well, if you're inside a dungeon and you save and reset, it'll put you at the start of the dungeon. If you're in the overworld, if you're Adult Link, it'll put you in the Temple of Time, and if you're Child Link, it'll put you in Link's house. So came back to Temple of Time to trigger the Light Arrows cutscene. This cutscene goes for a solid 4-5 minutes, so if Jess, if you got any donations or want to make any announcements, go for it.
Unfortunately, we don't have any donations.
It's all good. But
enjoy this lovely cutscene.
Yeah, if you have any questions about the run, in chat, I'm more than happy to answer anything on the fly. So yeah, hope you're all enjoying the marathon so far. Hope you're all catching some great runs. We've hit $4,000, which is pretty poggers. Do we have a goal for fast?
Yeah. Our goal is 7,500.
Ooh, I reckon we can do it, fam. We still got all of tonight and a bit of tomorrow, so I think we need Softy or Astrid to come on mic for like that half an hour segment again.
just the soft man monologue, and then trailer. talking about your day and just regular goings on. Oh yeah, I'll play some golf, and hey, oh look, another donation.
Not gonna lie, that was amazing because that pushed us right over the edge and more, which was great.
I loved it. It was, yeah, absolutely. He kept going until he couldn't keep going. We had a donation total that ended in 69.69, and that's really all you could ever hope for. So,
I know, right? Have you ever been so far with the run as to even go look more like?
That's an old YouTube meme.
Oh, okay.
Anyone ever been as far as to do more look like?
I was so confused.
Oh yeah, what's Sheik doing?
Oh yeah, spoilers if you haven't played this game, by the way, guys. Sheik is a Zelda.
What?
What? I'm sorry, Jess. I'm sorry.
I am shocked. Different eye color, different haircut. Completely got me.
It's interesting because in OOT, I'm pretty sure Navi refers to Sheik as a he, but then in like the later Zelda games, like say Hyrule Warriors and stuff, I think they say Sheik's like female because she's got like the long ponytail and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the reason is that Sheik is sort of presenting themselves as an unknown person.
Yeah.
So it's pretty typical to sort of say he, and probably got some masked voice, maybe sounds a bit different. But a lot of people started saying things like, is Sheik actually a boy? And it's like, no, it's just a costume.
Just a costume.
It's just a costume. And so I think Nintendo was getting kind of sick of those questions and was like, let's be clear here. That's my thought.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. I thought it was Impa. To be fair, Impa is actually one of a really cool character, and she barely got any screen time in this game. So I'm kind of glad she was in like you could play as her in like Hyrule Warriors and stuff.
Absolutely.
I need to play through Hyrule Warriors a bit more. I like Dynasty Warrior style games, and I really need to. There's a new one that came out, right, guys? A new Hyrule Warriors.
Careful, don't get banned.
Who?
People who played the game on release date got banned from Twitch because there was a bot that was bopping everyone who played it early, but the bot had the dates wrong. So the date was a day early.
Oh.
And so everyone who was playing it on release date was getting bopped.
Oh,
but now that's all fixed.
Okay.
Don't worry, you can play Age of Calamity.
Is Age of Calamity DLC or is it like a brand new game?
Brand new game.
Oh, okay. Yo, what's up, Mortal? Okay, I'm keen.
So we just got a $54.77 donation from Ticker, who says, contributing to the Shah Glitch exhibition. Thank you very much, Ticker. And that brings the Simpsons Hit and Run up to 54% funded, with $228.46 left.
Let's go, fam.
Yeah, I'm also a big fan of the Dynasty Warriors games. I felt that there weren't enough characters in the original Hyrule Warriors, because if you've played any of the big Dynasty Warrior games, like if you played, say, the Gundam ones or just the regular ones, there's like 200 characters or something, and then you play Hyrule Warriors and there's like 6. Where's the other ones?
Yeah, Dynasty Warriors had like so many characters you could pick through. It was insane.
Just go through the Cao Cao's entire family line, and go Sun Tse's entire family line, and go.
Pretty much.
And then Dynasty Warriors sort of ran out of characters, so they started bringing in gods and like legendary figures like Sun Wukong.
Oh yeah, they did too. Hey, I forgot about that.
And yeah, that's how dedicated they are to having 5,000 characters.
What is this? Dynasty Warriors 2? Great game, Dynasty Warriors 2. The old PS2 ones.
Man, Disney Heroes 2, right? It takes like an hour to beat a single map. It's insane.
It was actually pretty tank, yeah.
And you don't have free control camera, so you have to hit like retarget every time. Wow, that game is nuts.
That's right. I remember now. Alright, so we are now in Ganondorf's castle. Now, from like in a normal quote-unquote glitchless run-through of this game, you would have to go through all these tiny rooms, what are called trials, complete the trials, and then dispel the barrier. But we just basically we skip that barrier with a staircase hover. So there you go. Hey Anna, OOT. Alright, so we skip through the barrier, and we're just gonna get through the last of Dorf's cronies before we take on Dorf. That Dinofo was a tad bit annoying. Okay, so we got Dinofos, we have Stalfos again. And yeah, me spamming those spin slashes against those Dinofos. Oh, that was a bonk actually. So I owe another 10 bucks. So 40 bucks at the end of this run. Okay, that was pretty decent. What? These Stalfos are so nice to me today. Oh, normally in my own streams, guys, those Stalfos are like really mean to me. Like they're moving everywhere, I can't hit them. And then like in this marathon run where some things have gone like horribly wrong, they're like so nice to me. Ugh, being nice. Okay, so now we're gonna clip these double knuckles here. Let's do this. All right. You can hit them basically simultaneously. Just gonna back up a little bit. All right, I'll style. There we go. I normally don't do that in a normal PB pace run because the last time I tried to spin slash style, I missed and I died and I was on PB pace. So I said to myself, I'm never styling them again, but I figured just this once I do it. All right, can we Hess up these stairs? The answer is yes. I think this Hess saves like 8 seconds if you do like backwalk Hess. If you do stationary Hess, I think it saves like 2 seconds. Hey, all right, so yeah, no, right, Mortal, I'm never gonna get like nice Stalfos like that ever again. So for a point of reference, my PB in this category is a 116. Actually, what is my PB? I don't even remember. My PB is coming up to time though, but we're nowhere near that. Let me just check what my PB is. I can't remember. 116.48. So there you go. We're a little bit over my PB, but we'll still get there. This heat, I know, right, Anna? It's crazy. I know, right, Neverwinter? Rip Stalfo's RNG. I am gonna get like debated in like my runs from now on. Not PB, yeah. Not PB, indeed. And also, world record for this category, guys, is a 113. 113? Yeah, both Count and Valiant Link have a 113 in this category. Watching them play is like insane. It's like fast. It's the definition of what this marathon is, just fast. I'm going to equip Bottle here, and I'll explain why in just a moment. Or not. Alright, Dorf. So, Bottle has a really wide swing arc. So instead of having to use a sword, which may only have like vertical or horizontal, the Bottle just has like I swear, like a sphere. So it makes this fight like a heck of a lot easier, to say the least. What a Chad. Hold up, let me just finish this song, don't be rude. Just
if anything, if not considerate. I mean, like.
Oh yeah. And you know what? He was considerate. He did heal us all the way. So whatever damage we took, we will. Yeah. Is the red bar behind you part of a dance cab? Actually, Obi-Wan, it's a dance pad. Yeah, it's the bar for one. I don't have anywhere else to put it because my study room is kind of tiny. I have like my dance pad here for DDR. I've got my fan here, my desk. I've got my little 50-watt amp here. I've got my basses right here as well. So yeah, it's a bit of a nice cozy setup. I do everything in here. I do my music. I play games. I do my coding. I do everything in this room. Everything except sleep, actually. This is like workspace, play space. Yeah. Alright, so we're on to the end of the run now. So this section can be a little bit spooky because these rocks that fall can be really trolly. So we're gonna do a void warp and I just pray the... Oh wait, I don't have enough health here. I think this does one heart or half a heart. I can't remember. I think I need 3 hearts. Yeah, ignore me. I was like, wait, I don't have enough health. Okay, that's what's meant to happen, but I get another shot at it now because I didn't have enough health. But we have another shot. There's no lag now, so you know, Bob's your uncle. Let's go. That rock, man. Holy crap.
I mean, it's pretty incredible to get the glitch and click through and do all that stuff and then just dead.
As soon as I said, oh, this rock might, and it just clipped me from the other side. So, yeah, those rocks, by the way, fam, I have no control over those rocks. That is legit random where the hell they fall. So about those rocks, Aggie, I'm just glad it wasn't a PB pace run. And yes, before anyone asks, I have had PB pace runs and a rock just clips me from behind and I couldn't do anything about it. It's just, that's that. Hashtag Ocarina of Time. Yeah, Mortal, so... Oh, we got the kiss. So we saved 2 frames there. So the reason we need 3 hearts is because that trick I did there called Void Warp. Void Warp hits you, so getting hit by the bomb as you clip takes off half a heart. Voiding takes off 1 heart, and then taking the fall damage is 1 heart. So you need at least 3 hearts to be able to get that trick because of all the damage you take. So 4 hearts, you're good. If you're doing 3 heart Void Warp, it's like a heart attack every single time. Yeah, so it's like a accumulation of like all the damages that we take. All right, so this hasn't gone the cleanest, and touch wood, Ganondorf goes okay. Excuse me. The Ganondorf fight, it's pretty standard, but yeah. Yeah, it's not fun at all. Rocks are just mean, nasty rocks. And yeah. Okay, so there's one more trick I have to do before we initiate the Ganon fight. We're going to be doing a super slide into the cutscene and holding shield for pretty much all of the cutscene. And the reason for that is, in like a normal progression through this fight, Link's Master Sword gets knocked away and you need to use every other item you've got to like hit his tail, but they all do 1 damage. But if I super slide into the cutscene and hold shield and he knocks away the Master Sword, I will still have the Master Sword in my hand. Thus, I can still use it to clip Ganondorf's tail. Oh, sorry, Ganon's tail, rather. Otherwise, I'd have to, you know, run around, hit. So you don't have to reset a bunch. It's super considerate. Well, this category actually, Obi-Wan, is actually one of the more beginner-friendly ones. If you do like all the beginner strats, it's one of the categories I recommend new runners to try pick up, because all the beginner strats you use, you will still be able to get runs done, and you can actually get a pretty decent time with beginner strats. Like, using like the easiest strats you can for this category, I'd say people can shoot for under 130 pretty easily. And then you can just start adding more, and away you go. Alright, so just gonna make sure Ganon is nice to me. Alright, so that's first phase done. Now, second phase is where I have to be a wee bit careful, because he just gets, like, immediately more aggro than normal. Why he gets so bloody aggro is beyond me, but yeah. Hang on, I ain't risking this. I did this in the last marathon run I did for ASM, and I added like 5 minutes to estimate, and I don't want to be that guy this time. Hang on, this is actually not going well at all. Oh, I know what's going on. I'm not rolling past him enough. Alright, that was a bit spaghetti, but at least we finished, and we're under estimate, so phew. That was probably one of the more messy runs I have done. I do apologize for that, but I hope you all enjoyed it regardless. Hope you learned something new. Hope I've inspired or encouraged some of you to pick up Ocarina of Time as a speed run. We're a pretty friendly community, lots of categories, and time done. That is Ganondorf's source requirement. Phew.
Well done, MikamiHero. So
Thanks,
that was
thanks, Jess.
25 minutes and 36 seconds.
Phew. That was yeah, as Mortal said, I am a developer by trade, so yeah, that was a little bit messy. We failed Spirit Hover, so that easily added like 3 minutes to the run, but we're still under estimate. And like I said, I encourage all of you to pick up all of you to pick up OOT if you can. Lots of cool runners in the community, great resources, and yeah, would love to see you guys around. All right, I think that's it for me. I promise I owe the marathon $40, so I'll do that right after this. And thanks again, Oz Speedruns. Thanks again for having me, and thanks Jesse for hosting my session.
Always a pleasure to have you, MikamiHero.